Hello everyone, welcome to India Defense Institute. So in this video, we are going to see the at present hot topic which is going on around the world, which is none other than the endless battle, Israel-Palestine conflict. Yes, so the world is in the brink of war as of now because of the actions of the Hamas, which is a terror outfit, in the present day Israel occupied Palestine. Yes. So this video will be much useful for the people who are aspiring for defense exams and specifically like for topics in GD discussion, lecturing and also in your interview. So it will give you a holistic view of what was happening before and what happened and what is happening now and what it led to the future. Yes. So let's delve into the video. So it all started. So you can see the whole point of Jews. For that we have to understand some basics. So there is something called Abrahamic religion, which means three religions together combines this Abrahamic religion. One is Jews, Judaism. Second is Muslims, Islamism. Third is Christianity. These three religions together is called Abrahamic religion. This Abrahamic religion is founded the origin in the present day Israel and the past Palestine. This religion is a star. This religion is the mother of all these three whole religion things. These religions, when they developed, they started to spread throughout the world. Yes. So these Jew people became minority, and then Islamism and Christianity started to spread more. So what happened during the 18th century and 19th century, the Zionist organization started. So you can see here. So the Zionist movement started throughout the world to create awareness about the Jew people and for the persecution of minorities and to strengthen their organization. This Jew people was asking for the land because in the 18th and 19th century, the Jew homeland, the present day Israel, has been occupied by Ottoman Empire. The Ottoman Empire, a Persian king, yes, he is a Muslim and it was fully Arab nation. Yes, a Muslim dominated region. Yes. Because of that, they are asking for their motherland. And the problem started not just now, but the problem dates back to the First World War. So you can see it all started with the famous agreement called Sykes-Picot Agreement. So what is the Sykes-Picot Agreement? Simple. When the World War started in 1914, yes, Marx, Sykes, and then Franco and Picot, both one side British and another side France. This British and France secretly made an agreement. What is that agreement? The agreement is that anyways they are going to win the war and the Ottoman Empire and the empire belongs to them. So they secretly have this pact that the region of this land to be taken over and it will be used to again resettle the Jew population there. So the genesis of this problem starts with the Sykes-Picot Agreement. You can see that here. The Sykes-Picot Agreement. Yes. And this further proceeded in the year 1970 when Balfour Declaration. You can see here, Balfour, he is the British secretary. You can see that he is Balfour, a British secretary. He got the permission along with the support of Jew people from the British cabinet and the crown that after this war, the mainland, the homeland of Jew people, which is none other than the present Israel, it will be given back to the Israel people. But there was one problem. These people neglected one problem. What is that problem? Already Palestinian people, which are majority Arab Muslims, they were settling there. So they don't know how to devise this, but they simply gave the promise that they are going to settle this population. So the Sykes-Picot Agreement and then this Balfour Declaration, these two actually is a starting point of the genesis of this problem. Yes. So sir, how this problem gradually gave rise to the present day context? Yes, we can see. Yes. So from the map, you can see one thing here. The black area shows that it is the area of Palestine. It is in the area here around 1970. From that point, you can see just 3% of the population of the Jews were there. You can see after this Balfour Declaration, the Jew population got settled because you all know Ottoman Empire lost in the World War I and the Allied powers, Britain, France, USA, they won the war. So they dictated the terms here. Just 3% of the Jew population was here, and you can see gradually from the years down the line, after World War I, the Jew people started to settle here. One main reason is that you all know the Nazis and the fascist rule in Germany. The Jew population, out of persecution, they ran all the way and they came settled back in the Palestine region because this was a land promised by the Britain. Yes. So because of the Hitler's rules also, the Jew people come and settle largely in this area. And you can see drastically in the 1947 that the yellowish region, which shows is none other than Jewish population, started to spread. And after this 1947, problem started over Arab Islamic nationalism, so which requires Palestine as a separate country, whereas Jew nationalism started, which they says that this is the only land which they have. the demand, or we can say the so-called argument from the Jew side is there is many Muslim land, but for us the only land available is this Jewish land. But the problem is, without the consent of Arab Muslims, these people are settled here. And yes, the UN has to intervene, and then they have to stop it because these two people were starting to fight with each other. And then what happened? You see here again the same thing. As the year progresses, the greenish region is nothing but the Palestine region gradually started to restrict, and Israel Jew population started to spread. Yes, and this all culminated in 1947-48 itself by means of something called Arab-Israeli War. Yes, the Arab-Israeli War started in the year 1948, where Jordan, Iraq, Syria went into war with Israel. Why? Because Israel is Jew. Practically speaking, these two religion people won't go together. Even though they belong to Abrahamic religion, these two religions are always in the loggerhead. They will be fighting with each other. So that's why the war started. But guess what? Even though combined forces together, they cannot able to win over Israel. Israel won the war. You won't believe. And later, Israel also captured this Suez Canal. And you all know. So this part is called the Suez Canal. And you can see this part of the region is called Suez Canal. This Suez Canal region, which belongs to Egypt, was actually being captured by Israel. Yes, in a war. But later in 1982, because of the peaceful agreement, that Sinai Peninsula was given back to Egypt. But so hence, Egypt recognized Israel as the first country. So in the Middle East region, Egypt was the first country to recognize this Israel as a country. Yes, and Sinai Peninsula was given back to them, and Suez Canal problem was solved. Yes, and later even Jordan also had a peace agreement with Israel. And Israel started to grow in power. So that is how the problem started. So the Palestinian, Arab Muslims, from being a majority, they were shrunken and they become the minority there. They started to concentrate in two regions. You can see here. One is this Gaza Strip here. You can see here. This is the Gaza Strip, this part, and this is the West Bank. So in this Gaza Strip and West Bank, they started to settle. The problem is, the people who once were a majority now become a minority. There is no other way for them. They have to resort to revolutionary terrorism. So that is how the Hamas and Fatah got created. Yes, the Hamas and Fatah had their origin in something called PLO, which is nothing but Palestinian Liberation Organization. So what is this PLO? Yes, it is a revolutionary organization created like how in India HRA, HSRA and all created. Likewise, they created this PLO, Palestinian Liberation Organization, in 1964 by a person called Yasser Arafat. He only started this organization. The two branch organization of this PLO is nothing but Hamas, who occupied this region. This Gaza region, Hamas, and this West Bank region is occupied by this Fatah. So these two regions, who is the supporting organization for Palestinian Muslims and their rights, they started to emerge. And gradually, to stop, now and then frequent fighting started to happen. To stop this, UN intervened. So what UN said? UN simply said, with respect to all the problems started now, you see, as I told you already, the UN came and then the UN gave a famous resolution called Land for Peace Agreement. What the UN Charter says, after 1945, when the UN is formed, the UN said one thing very clearly. What is the thing? Even if you go to war, even if you should not go to war first of all, but in the war, if you go and defeat a country, you cannot take over the land. Taking over the land in any way is not justified by the UN Charter. So what they said, the so-called territories occupied by the Israel is not right. It's not legally allowed, the UN said. And then they tried to water down the situation, and there came the two-state theory. So what is this two-nation theory or two-state theory? Two-state theory. It says, in that specific region, both Israel and both Palestine should be there. Both should recognize each other. But initially, it does not fructify. Gradually, lot of such events happen. For example, Oslo Accord happened. Oslo Accords. This Oslo Accords happened. Yes. So this Oslo Accords happened in Norway countries, and both the sides came together, and then they agreed this two nations theory. What is the two nation theory? PLO. Palestine has to accept Israel as an independent state. Similarly, Israel has to accept Palestine as an independent state. So that is the agreement. And yes, this Oslo Accord was little successful, but the problem is later Israel started having adamant stand. Yes, because of that again the problem started. Yes. So simple. From the Israel side, Israel want us, their Jewish people, to have their own country. Whereas from the Palestinian side, they are like they want the whole country. So this is the demand. This is how the problem started, and the problem kept on creeping between these people. And yes, as I told, Hamas and Fatah, Hamas are the one who occupies the Gaza Strip. These two are the branch organization of this PLO, Palestinian Liberation Organization. Whereas Fatah, on the other hand, now occupy the Western Bank. In fact, the interesting fact is that Hamas and Fatah itself has having some issues over them. For example, Hamas believe that the Hamas does not believe in the two-nation theory. The Hamas does not believe in the two-state theory. For them, the whole Israel is for themselves. So they denounce, they don't accept Oslo Accords. Whereas the Fatah, on the other hand, who controls the Western Bank, they accept this Oslo Accord and then say, you and me both can stay in the same place. So even between them there is a problem. So, but what is the present problem as of now? The problem as of now is that Hamas is the one who started the issue. So I can say, I showed you the Hamas map. The Gaza Strip here, from this Gaza Strip, they started to fire. From here, missiles started to happen because this is Gaza Strip. The missiles started to come. In fact, from the Hamas side, so who's controlling this Gaza, they say they created something called Operation Al-Aqsa Flood. Operation Al-Aqsa Flood. So this is an operation which has been coined by the Hamas in the Gaza. So what is this Al-Aqsa? Al-Aqsa is actually having an historical context. I'll tell you. Al-Aqsa is the third holiest site of Muslims all around the world after Mecca and Medina. It is one of the important holy sites, and yes, every year when during Ramadan time and other times and religious times and all, when the people of the Palestine goes there for their namaz and other purposes, they will always be persecuted. So this Al-Aqsa, which is a holy site, it is in Jerusalem, but unfortunately Jerusalem is under the control of Israel. So that is why the code name as Al-Aqsa Flood. Under this, preemptive strike started. What is this preemptive strike? Yes, without giving any warning, sudden attack, a sudden massive attack on a neighboring country or a neighboring enemy country is nothing but preemptive strikes. So under this operation Al-Aqsa Flood, a sudden preemptive strike happened. You won't believe, within 15 minutes to 20 minutes of time, they have fired around 5,000 missiles. Missiles from this region, from here to the southern part. Not only missiles, in the meantime, gunmen also started to enter, and they started, from the landways, they started to clear the people. They are taking many people, Israeli people, including the foreign tourists, as the hostages, so that they can negotiate with the people. So this is a present issue that is happening there, and this is one of the worst attack in the last years, in the recent years, that can create a massive impact. So what is the response of Israel? Yes, the Israeli President Benjamin Netanyahu, he openly announced to the public Israel that yes, we have at war. Yes, for the first time in the last 60 to 70 years, the president of a country openly announced that they are in the war. So what is going to happen? Yes, it is going to have a large ramifications around the world, specifically India, because India is having good relationship with both Palestine as well as Israel. India is trying to maintain a neutral stand. But we can see in the recent phases there is a shift in the policy. What is the shift in the policy? We will see. So what are Palestinians' demand? So the demand of Palestinians is very simple. Before this 1967, what is the borders? Before the influx of large number of Jews, what is the border? They want that land to be for themselves. And also you see, yes, they want an independent Palestinian state. As of now, Palestine is not a recognized country in UNESCO. Palestine is only a non-member observer country in UNESCO, and Palestine is a member state in UNESCO. But it is not an official country, at least in the name of, at least in the glass of UNESCO. They want that. They want to be independent, and they want all the refugees who fled to the other European, Middle East, Arabic, Muslim, Islamic nations like Iraq, Syria. For them to come back, they want to start their own, country again. And also, you see, they want East Jerusalem as the capital. As of now, East Jerusalem is under the, capital of, under the occupation of, Israeli people. So this is the demands of Palestine. Similarly, what is the demand of Israel? The exact opposite. Their demands doesn't go well because both of their demands are inherently conflictual. You see here, sovereignty over Jerusalem. They said that it is their own motherland because from the biblical time, okay, Bible time, Old Testament, New Testament and all, the Jewish land is the land which they are trying to say. The Sea of Galilee, yes, and the Jordan River, everything they are connecting it to the religious, view. And they want sovereignty over Jerusalem and also recognition as a Jewish state. So as of now, Israel is the only large majority Jewish state. So the problem is, as of now, the world countries have a little sway over Israel. Why? Simple. One of the main reasons is USA. Most of the Israeli businessmen and Israeli refugees settled there in USA, and they are the highly wealthy business class there in USA. And these people in USA is pushing, and they are morally asking the USA people to support their cause. That's why you can see in 2017 when Israel moved their capital from Tel Aviv to the actual present capital Jerusalem, USA is the first country to support it. Even India didn't support it, other countries didn't support it. It was USA who actually first supported the movement, and they recognized the Jerusalem as a capital because Jerusalem is a disputed land. That's why other countries are reluctant to accept that as their capital. So because of USA support only, this Israel is as of now dominating. Yes. So what's the stand of India in all these things? That's the question. When initially started in 1950, you won't believe, even Gandhi has given a statement that it is wrong, even though Gandhi said, even though I sympathize with Jews, it is wrong to give injustice to the Palestinian people because that land belonged to the Palestinian people. Even the government of India initially supported Palestine. In fact, they even voted against Israel, in the UN vote. But in 1950, India supported Israel as an independent state. At that time, India was idealistic because the Palestinian people, they are majority Muslims. In India, we have majority Muslims. So that's why, as a sympathetically, they supported the Palestinian cause. It went on. But there is a shift. After this 1992, India had officially started their relationship with Israel. After 1992, there is a shift. But after 2014, there is even more the shift. What is the shift? As simple. Before that, India was idealistic, which means they supported Palestine because it is the right thing to do. But now they are supporting Israel because it is a practical thing to do. As of now, situation matters. It doesn't mean things much about idealism. Practical things matters. I'll tell you because the famous organization of Islamic countries, OIC is an organization. India, even though supported Palestine cause, it didn't receive much in return because Pakistan being a member of this OAIC, the Organization of Islamic Countries, they always use this Kashmiri issue to come and poke India and kept India out. So we didn't gain much from these Arabic nations. So hence India took a practical shift. They started to support more and more Israel. Again, why? There is a need for India here. Again, national interests dominate here. So why India has to support Israel? Simple, because Israel and India are one of the most strong defense partners here. So from Israel, India got lots and lot of technology. There are many things to say. I'll say some few things. For example, a famous missile called Barak missile. It was imported from Israel. Not only that, there is a satellite called Texar. This Texar satellite, it is an Israeli spy satellite. This Texar satellite was also launched by Israel. Yes, for this Israel's agency Mossad, and also RISAT. It was launched by Israel for India with the support of Israel. Not only that, Israel and India have cooperation in multiple things, specifically science and technology, and Israel is famous for this agronomic practices, drip irrigation, micro irrigation, mulching. This effective water efficient agriculture technologies is also famous for Israel. So that's why India and Israel is engaging more and more. Practically speaking, we don't get much benefit from being supporting to Palestine. So that's why, as of now, India is moving towards Israel. So that is why the shift of India, Israel and Palestine conflict. So down the line, whatever the thing is, now the world has started the war. Yes. And when the World War I happened, all the countries thought it is a war between Austria and Serbia. But the world never knew that war between two small nations started the World War. The same thing is repeating now. Yes, history is repeating itself. So the only way as of now is not to oppose or support one camp and another camp. It is we have to band together and we have to stop it. Already our Prime Minister Narendra Modi has openly supported Israel, saying that we stand in solidarity with Israel. Yes, but that that doesn't mean that India and other countries are actually supporting the war and actually fueling the war. So the only way we have to stop it that make sure these two organizations are doing the ceasefire, a true settlement, and then they have to come together, and the world countries have to put pressure on both Israel as well as Palestine to make this issue solvable by means of negotiation, because the world is not ready for another war. So that is why we can see even our Prime Minister Narendra Modi has urged Benjamin, not only that, even Joe Biden said we will provide all kind of support, but it doesn't mean that we are supporting the war. Yes. So that is the end of it, and yes. So the reason India's, the expression of it, I told you, the shift in India's foreign policy, the reactions is because of what India learned from its past experience. Yes. So this content will be much helpful for you in your defense exams, whatever it is, be it current affairs or GD or lecturer or even in interview. Yes. For more of this content, visit our website. Yes, it is there in our website. You can even subscribe in our website. Yes. And for more of this content, come to us and we will provide you with variety and diverse contents. Yes. So in the meantime, yes, sign out, bye bye. I'll see you in the next video with the important and most burning content ever. Thank you.